Hello and welcome everybody. Today we're going to be discussing the 2017 edition of the Life in the UK Test Handbook. Now this is for anybody who is applying for indefinite leave to remain or British citizenship or the likes. So basically it's a book that goes over British history and British culture and also British law. Okay, so if you look at the book itself, it's not that thick, but the information can be quite detailed, so as you can see, just masses and masses and masses of information. Now the book itself, I think it's been compiled quite well. It's been illustrated where it can be, but I think there is places where you could have compiled some information a lot better, and so that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to go over a few aspects of the book that I thought were unnecessarily difficult. It could have been made easier had they been compiled a little bit better. So the first thing that I want to go over, and this is one of many parts and many series because people have been asking for it, is the dates in the calendar. Now let me try to get this in focus. Okay, I think that'll do. In the UK and in British culture, we have many dates which are specific and special to us. Okay, the start of the new year is the 1st of January, okay, and that is New Year's Day. New Year's Day, people start to make New Year's resolutions and things of that sort, and it's the start of a brand new year, okay. The second important celebration is on the 14th of February, so this is all chronological, meaning it's going in order from start to the end of the year. So on 14th of February, we have Valentine's Day. Now, these are not just specific to the UK, America, Canada, a lot of Western countries, they'll all have the similar holidays like this. So Valentine's Day is where people exchange romantic gestures. They give each other roses or whatnot. But it's kind of a day of love where they celebrate love. The next celebration is on the 1st of March. The 1st of March is St. David's Day. Does anybody know who St. David was? Aha. Okay, St. David was the patron saint of Wales, okay, and the 1st of March is his celebration. Shortly followed after that, 17 days later or 16 days later, is St. Patrick's Day on the 17th of March. Now these are people that you're meant to know their names, and you'll definitely be asked about one of these patron saints. So St. David, we said, was the patron saint of Wales. Now St. Patrick, he is the patron saint of Ireland. Okay, a lot of this is associated with the 3-leaf clover or the 4-leaf clover. That's St. Patrick's Day for you. The 1st of April is April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day is basically when people start playing pranks and jokes on one another. Now sometimes you'll see news reports on this day in the morning which are fake, or people will be, just making pranks and jokes with one another. What's important to know, and they'll probably ask you this as a question, is till what point does April Fool's Day continue? And it's till 12 noon or midday, okay? So after that, people don't do it, otherwise it's going to start to get a bit annoying, a bit frustrating. On the 14th of April, every year, is Vaisakhi or Baisakhi. This is a Hindu and a Sikh festival, and they do it every year on the 14th. Now what's important to mention here is in this book they haven't mentioned 3 big celebrations by the Muslims in the UK. Those are Ramadan, that's a holy month of fasting for the Muslims, followed by Eid al-Fitr, so they spend a couple of days celebrating the end of Ramadan, and then Eid al-Adha, which is after the Hajj pilgrimage, the Muslims celebrate again for about 3 days. Those are not mentioned, and the reason they're not mentioned is because they don't have a specific date in the Gregorian calendar. The Muslims follow a lunar calendar, and so the date constantly changes, so there's no possible way of knowing at what point Eid will come up, and you'll always see contention in the community between that issue. So that's why they haven't put it in, but it's important to know because I believe there's a 4% population of Muslims in the UK, and it does come up in the textbook, but they just haven't summarized it at the back. So it's important to know Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha. If you don't know about them, Google search them. The information is vastly available. The next celebration is that on the 23rd of April, which is St. George's Day. So we said St. David is the patron saint of Wales. St. Patrick is the patron saint of Ireland. Who do you think St. George is? He's the patron saint of England. Okay, so that's on the 23rd of April. On the 31st of October, we get Halloween. Halloween is I think it's a pagan festival. It predates Christianity and things like that. People, they dress up in costumes. Children dress up in costumes. They go around to door, and they ask for. They say trick or treat. So either you're going to give them chocolates or sweets, or they're going to show you a trick. And they normally dress up like vampires or ghosts or things like that. Something specific that this book keeps on constantly mentioning is the carving of pumpkins into lanterns and placing candles inside a pumpkin and turning it into a lantern. That's something that you should take note of because it's constantly coming up in the practice questions, so it could come up in your test. But that is Halloween. Okay, it's normally practiced in the night. It's quite a scary atmosphere. On the 5th of November, we have Bonfire Night. Now, in I think the 1600s, there was a man by the name of Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes didn't get along with the British government, and he tried to overthrow them by blowing up the parliament. So he placed explosives underneath the parliament, and he tried to blow it up, but he was unsuccessful. He was caught, and on that night, people now do a bonfire parade instead in celebration that he was caught. There's a jingle that they teach you in primary school and in secondary school, well, mainly in primary school, but it says, remember the 5th of November, Guy Fawkes and his gunpowder plot. Okay, or remember the 5th of November, Guy Fawkes and his bonfire plot. Okay, so those are the things they'll teach you in primary school. On the 11th of November is Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day is the mark of the end of World War One. Okay, World War One was catastrophic for this country. So Germany and the Allied forces, they came into a peace treaty. The peace treaty was called the Treaty of Versailles. It's spelled really weird. It's pronounced like that, the Treaty of Versailles. They made a peace treaty with Germany, and so officially the war had ended with that treaty being made. And it's celebrated on the 11th hour, of the 11th day of the 11th month. So November is the 11th month, 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and everyone gives about 2 minutes silence for that. And it's celebrated within the EU as well. A lot of the European countries who are part of that war, they also give the 2 minutes silence. The next is on 30th of November. That's St. Andrew's Day, the last saint left. So England is composed of 4 countries, so therefore that must be the patron saint of Scotland. Okay, Britain is composed of 4 countries, so that's the patron saint of Scotland, St. Andrew, and that's on the 30th of November. The 24th of December is Christmas Eve, which just means the night before Christmas, and that goes on to follow that 25th of December is going to be Christmas Day. And then we have the 26th of December there, which is Boxing Day. A lot of the UK sales go mad. You'll see them everywhere, people running for a good deal. And on the 31st of December again is New Year's Eve, which means the night before New Year's, or you can, in Scotland they call it Hogmanay. So those are a couple of the crucial dates that you need to learn, need to memorize, need to commit to memory. If you do have any questions, then please write them in the comment section below and I'll try to answer them. But if you have found this video helpful or useful, why don't you give us a good old thumbs up and subscribe. Okay, I'm going to try to do a lot more videos. I'm going to try to be a bit more varied, talk about different content, maybe talk about some of the questions that come up. It is on the request of the people, so if I don't get any requests, I'll just stop making videos. But if I see that people are interested, I'll carry on making videos. Alright then, that's enough for today. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. See ya.